Yes, CAT 2022 is just round the corner. Keeping this in mind, we know each and every one of you is really excited, but is also looking for the last final push and the fillip that is going to add those extra 5, 10, 15 percentile to your final CAT score. Well, because of this, BYJU'S Exam Prep brings to you the last lap to CAT 2022, starting on the 17th of October all the way till the 20th of November. Yes, 4.5 intensive, in fact almost 5 intensive weeks of preparation. What more, the focus is predominantly going to be CAT, which means, as we know, time, speed, distance and time and work in totality have almost equal weightage or sometimes even more weightage than geometry. So can we go ahead and leave geometry and just focus on these two? Can we go ahead and leave entire theta para jumbles and still score a 99.99 percentile in verbal? Yes, we can. This and much more in terms of preparation, in terms of intensive questions that we're going to look at and the smartest way of going ahead and solving that. So catch us on the BYJU'S Exam Prep app, and in case you missed that, on YouTube. But go ahead, download the BYJU'S Exam Prep app and also get a 99 percentilers kit which is going to help you ace CAT 2022. See you soon.
Hello friends. A very good afternoon to all of you and welcome back once again to the YouTube channel of BYJU'S Exam Prep. I am Gourav Gupta and I once again welcome all of you for our preparation to CAT 2022 with our next session of DILR, and in this session we are going to discuss the most expected questions that you may have for CAT 2022. So once again I have handpicked some of the questions from the previous year papers of CAT, and definitely these are some of the questions which you may expect to repeat once again. Obviously not the entire question, we are talking about the concept that we'll be discussing here today. Alright, so once again a very good afternoon to all of you. Varun, Akhil, Guru Prasad, Jaydev, welcome all of you once again. So quickly confirm if I am audible and visible to all of you. Come on, all of you. Please quickly confirm if my voice is clear. Harika, Disha, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. All right, great. Yes, Varun, nice to see all of you once again. All right, so friends, in today's session, so first of all, I'll clear the agenda of this session. Definitely, I have picked the questions which have already appeared in previous year papers of CAT, and I have not taken only the questions from recent papers because I believe that most of you would have already done these questions, would have already practiced these questions. Another reason is like the question that have appeared in the last few years, we have covered many of these questions. So I have gone back to the year 2007, 8, 9 and I have seen those papers and have handpicked all the questions which are still coming in the recent examinations. So the concept that you're going to see in today's question may match the logical reasoning or data interpretation questions that we may get. So this session is just another round of practice. All right. Okay. Now education word is saying that sir 4 PM paid class hai to yes. So education word, I'll try to finish this session in the next 1 hour. Don't you worry, and I'll make sure that you will not be at any kind of loss. So let's quickly, without wasting any time, move on to the very first set. Today we are going to take on 3 sets, and the sets are logical, but they are not lengthy. So all of you, I'm sure that will be able to participate, will be able to solve these questions. So very quickly, let's move to the first question of this set. So this is the common set of information for the first set. All of you may quickly read this information quickly. So question says that for the following 5 questions, answer the questions based on the information given below. So there will be 5 questions related to this set. Now for the first 3 questions, this will be the information. Then there will be some additional information for question number 4 and 5. So let's read this information out. Now A, B and C, 3 people, Abdul, Bikram and Chetan, are 3 professional traders who trade in shares of a company XYZ Limited. Okay. Now Abdul follows the strategy of buying at the opening day at 10 AM and selling the whole lot at the close of the day at 3 PM. So Abdul buys whatever number of shares that he want to at 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 a.m. and he will sell the entire quantity at 3 p.m. So this is the strategy taken by Abdul. Now the second person, Bikram, follows the strategy of buying at hourly intervals, 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 noon, 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. Okay, so Bikram, the second person, will buy at 10, 11, 12, 1 and 2 and sell the whole lot at the close of the day. Further, he buys an equal number of shares in each purchase. Okay, so at 10, 11, 12, 1 and 2, he will buy equal number of shares and will sell the entire whatever he has bought in these 5 hours, will sell it at 3 p.m. at the close of the day. All right. Now the third person, Chetan, he follows a similar pattern as Bikram, but his strategy is somewhat different, slightly different. Now Chetan's total investment amount is divided equally among his purchases. Okay, the profit or loss. So this is what Chetan does. So Chetan will follow, Chetan will follow whatever is followed by Bikram. All right. So this is what Chetan will follow. Okay. But his total investment is divided among the, equally among the purchases. So we can say that Bikram, on one hand, when he was buying the equal number of shares at 10, 11, 12, 1 and 2, Chetan is investing equal amount of money at these 5 times. All right. Now next is the profit and loss made by each investor is the difference between the sale value at the close of the day less the investment in purchase. The return for each investor is defined as the ratio of the profit or loss to the investment amount expressed as the percentage. So these are some basic definitions for the profit or loss or the return. All right. So this is the entire information for the first 3 questions of this set. Now let's move and look at how we can analyze the data. So we know that Abdul, he buys at 10 o'clock and will sell at 3 o'clock. So I have made a small table in which it is given that Abdul will buy. So B means buy. So B stands for buy and S, this stands for sell. Okay, so B is for buy and S is for selling, right? So Abdul will buy at 10 a.m. and will sell the entire thing at 3 p.m. On the other hand, Bikram will buy at 10, 11, 12, 1 and 2 and will sell entire thing at 3 o'clock. Okay, and in the bracket I have written number. So the number of shares bought by B will be equal at these timings, right? The third person, Chetan, will buy at 10, 11, 12, 1 and 2 will sell at 3 o'clock. But the money that he has invested at each of these timings will be equal. So money by Chetan is equal and number of shares by Bikram is equal. Okay, so this is what is given in this set. All right. Now all of you just quickly give me a yes or no. Have you understood this entire data? Come on, just quickly write yes or no. All of you. I want to see it from all of you quickly. So have you all understood the data that is given to you for this particular set? There's a slight lag. So let's see. Okay, so I have started getting yes from a lot of you. All right, so all of you have understood the data. So now let me take you to the very first question of this set. So the first question of this set is, on a boom day, Sachin, you were asking about C money. So C money means C has invested equal amount of money. So whatever money that he has at the start of the day, he has invested or he has divided the money in 5 parts, okay, and then will invested equal amount of money at these timings. All right. So the share price may fluctuate. I'm taking an example, so I'll go back to the previous table and give you much more clarity about this. Okay. So let's say B invested or B bought 100 shares at each of these timings and B will sell 500 shares. So number of shares, there is no problem at all. All right. Now let us understand what will be done for this person C. Now C invested equal money. Okay. Now let's say C invested equal money. Amount of money is X invested by C. right? At each of these 5 timings. Now I'll consider one scenario when the price of the share keep on rising. When the price of the share keep on rising up till or the entire day. Fine. Now the price of the share kept rising. So let's say one share was of rupees 100. Okay, one share was of rupee 100. Then the price kept rising. So what will happen to the number of shares that C will buy at these timings? Since he is investing equal money, if the price of the share will rise, then the number of shares that he will be buying at these timings will keep on decreasing. On the other hand, if I take another scenario that the price kept on reducing throughout the day, then the number of shares that C has bought during the day will keep on increasing. Alright, so this is what is mentioned for this question. Okay, now some of you have already given an answer for this question. Okay, so let's move on to the first question for all of you. Now you all can read it. On a boom day, the share price of XYZ kept rising throughout the day. So the price keeps rising throughout the day and peaks at the close of the day. All right. Now, which trader got the minimum return? We have to find out which trader got the minimum return during this day. So I've already got answer from 2 of you. Let's see if others can also write the answer, write the correct answer. All right, so education word, Varun, Shweta have already given the answers. Now on a boom day, so boom day, the prices keep on rising throughout the day. So the price at 10 a.m. is less than that of 11 a.m. At 11 a.m. the price is less than that of 12 noon. So the price keeps on increasing. This is a boom day. Okay. So we have to find out which of these 3 traders, A, B or C, will have the maximum return or the minimum return. Okay, let's talk about both these things, right? The question is asking about only the minimum return. We'll talk about both maximum and minimum. So all of you who have understood this one, you must write, like this question is asking about the minimum return. Also write who will get the maximum return out of A, B, C. Or there are 2 people who will get the maximum return. Let's do that. Okay. Now, first of all, the price kept on rising, right? So the price at 10 a.m. will be less than that at 3 p.m. Okay. So we understand that A will have a profit. Similarly, since the price kept on rising and all of them are selling at the end of the day, so all of will have a profit. So A, B and C तीनों को profit होगा. Okay, because the price at 3 p.m. will be the maximum and this is the time when all of them are selling their shares. Okay, so sell करते वक्त अगर price maximum है, then all 3 of them will have a profit. Fine. अब हमें फाइंड आउट करना है कि किसका प्रॉफिट सबसे कम है, किसका प्रॉफिट उससे ज्यादा है, किसका प्रॉफिट सबसे ज्यादा है. फाइन, लेट्स फाइंड आउट ऑल दीज 3 थिंग्स. ओके, नाउ since the price is rising, okay, so let's say the price at here is 100 rupees, then 200 rupees, price of one share I'm assuming randomly, 300 rupees, 400 rupees, 500 rupees and 600 rupees. Okay, so A has invested the entire money at 10 a.m. when the price was lowest. Okay, and he has sold the entire thing at 3 p.m. when the price was maximum. Okay, so I can say that the person who will invest or who will buy the shares as soon as possible or at a lower price, all of them are selling at equal prices. हर कोई, all 3 of them are selling at 3 p.m. So they are selling at equal prices. So the person who will buy at the lowest price will have the maximum profit. Okay, A is doing that thing. So A is buying everything at 10 a.m. when the price was lowest. So I can say that A will have the maximum profit. A will have the maximum profit, right? So those who will buy early, they will have the profit. Now we have to compare B and C. Now A has the maximum profit, we understand this. Out of B and C, who will have the lesser profit? This is what we have to find out. Okay. Now out of B and C, both of them are buying at 10, 11, 12, 1 and 2 o'clock. Both of them are buying at same times. The person who will buy more number of shares early at a lesser price will have higher profit. I'll repeat this. The person who will buy more number of shares at a lesser price means earlier on the day. The person who will buy more number of shares at a lesser price will have more amount of profit. Okay. Now B is buying equal number of shares. Okay. So number of shares bought by B is equal at these timings. Now we have to understand the pattern for C. Now since the price is rising throughout the day, that means number of shares bought by C will keep on reducing during the day. So C will buy maximum number of shares here, lesser number of shares here, further less here, further less and further less. Okay, fine. So I can say that C will have higher profit. Absolutely education word. C will have a higher profit as compared to B because C has bought more number of shares during the first or during the early period of the day, and the number of shares bought by C as the day continues kept on decreasing. All right. So I can say that B will have minimum amount of profit. Okay. A will have maximum and C will have in between. Now, whatever you want to answer, now you can do that. The question is asking about the minimum. So minimum will be for B and the correct answer should be option A, that is Bikram. Okay. So let's see. Yes, the correct answer is option A, that is Bikram, and most of you were absolutely correct. Okay. Now all of you have understood the dynamics of this question. Let's have a quick look at the next few questions. So question number 2, quickly have a read. So in this case, there is no need to do any type of calculations. This is not a question of data interpretation. This is a question of logical reasoning. So which of the following statements is important, is always true? Which of the following statements is always true, right? Now statement A, Abdul will not be one with the minimum return. Now we don't have the information that was given in question number 1. This is very important. So you have to come out of the hangover of question number 1. Now there is no additional information that is given. You just know this table. Okay. Now nothing is mentioned about the fluctuation of prices during the day. So the price at 10 o'clock can be any value as compared to 11, 12, 1, 2 or 3. Okay. So no information is given. Additional information is not given. This is just given about which was there in the common set of information. Okay. So which of the following statements is always true? Abdul will not be one with the minimum return. Okay. Second, return for Chetan will be higher than that of Bikram. Return for Bikram will be higher than. So let's start from statement A. Abdul will not be the one with minimum return. Now, can Abdul have minimum return? Yes. What we can do is, if I'll say that the price at which Abdul has bought, this is maximum and this price is minimum, and the price kept on falling during the day. Price kept on falling during the day, then we can say that the profit made by Abdul or Abdul will have the minimum return. So there is a scenario when Abdul will have a minimum return. So this statement is not true, right? Okay. Let's go to statement B and C together. Now B and C is comparing the return of Bikram and Chetan. So one statement is saying that Chetan ka return zyada hoga. Another statement is saying that Bikram ka return zyada hoga. Now in absence of any information, can we comment upon this thing? In the previous question, we have already seen that if the price keeps on rising, agar price increase hota rahega, then Bikram will have minimum return. On the other hand, if the price will keep on falling, then Chetan will have lesser return as compared to Bikram. Okay. So any of these statements or any of these two persons may have lesser return as compared to the other person, depending upon the fluctuation of prices of the share during the day. Okay, fine. Am I clear? So this and this, or B and C, will always not be true. They may be false. Option D, return for Chetan cannot be higher than that of Abdul. Now Chetan ka return Abdul ke return se high ho sakta hai. Why not? Why not? If the price will keep on reducing, then Chetan may have higher return as compared to Abdul. Alright, so this statement may or may not be true. So yes, the correct answer will be none of the above, which is given by a maximum number of students. Yes, so I can say that now you have understood the dynamics of this question. Let's quickly move on to next question, question number 3. Question number 3 on your screen. On a day of fluctuating market prices, the share price of XYZ ends with a gain. That is, it is higher at the close of the day compared to the opening value. Which trader got the maximum return on that day? All right. Okay, nice. Now, those students who are giving the answer as cannot be determined, just in one line, tell me the reason behind that answer. Then I'll say that you all have understood this question. So I want a small reason in a small line, in a single line. I just need the reason behind this. So most of you are saying can't say, cannot be determined. Option E, wonderful. That is the correct answer. That is the correct answer, but there should be a proper reasoning for that. Let's have a look at it. Now, on a day of fluctuating market prices, this is a catch. Okay. The share price of XYZ ends with a gain. That is, it is higher at the close of the day compared to the opening value. So they have just given us the relation between the initial and the final price. So the final value is more than the initial value. This is given, but no relation is given about the share prices at these 4 timings, and it is given that it was a fluctuating day of market. Okay, so obviously the final price is higher than the initial price, but the comparison of these 4 prices with the initial or the final price is not given. There may be a high, there may be a low during the day. All right, so we don't know about the fluctuation or how the trend was there during the day. Okay, so it was not given. So that is why I cannot comment upon the return of any of these 3 traders. So yes, this is a proper reason which makes the answer as cannot be determined. All right, fine. Now these were the 3 questions based on the first set of information. Let's move ahead and look at some additional information for the next 2 questions. So question number 4 and question number 5, next 2 questions are based on this information. One day, 2 other traders, Dane and Emily, joined ABC. So D and E are the another 2 traders who have joined. And what has happened is, so Dane followed a new strategy. So Dane followed a strategy of buying equal number of shares at 10, 11 and 12. So Dane will buy at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock. Okay, fine, equal number of shares, and will sell the same numbers at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. So buying at 10, 11 and 12, then selling at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock, and every time he will be dealing in equal number of shares, right? Now let's understand what Emily will do. Emily, on the other hand, followed the strategy of buying shares using all her money at 10 o'clock. So Emily will buy everything at 10 o'clock and selling them at 12. Then again buying all the shares at 1 o'clock and then sell at 3 o'clock. So Emily will buy at 10, sell at 12, then will again buy at 1 o'clock and then sell at 3 o'clock. Simple strategy. So I have converted this strategy again in the table that is given at the bottom of the screen. Okay, so D will buy, sell, sell, sell. Emily will buy and sell, buy and sell. All right, so this is what is given about D and E again. Okay. All right, so this is the next question for all of you. Now, question number 4, this is given and you have to find share price was at its highest at what time of the day. So you're given that Abdul lost money in the transactions. Abdul lost money in the transactions. Both Dane and Emily made profits. Third, there was an increase in share price during the closing hour compared to the price at 2 p.m. Also, the share price at 12 noon was lower than the opening price. Now, this question is slightly tough. Okay, slightly different. Based on this information, based on these 4 statements, you'll have to find out the share price was highest at what time of the day. 10, 11, 12 or 1 o'clock. Okay, so let's start discussing this one. So some of you are saying 10 o'clock and some of you are saying 1 p.m. Let's understand what will happen in this question. So what I'll do is I'll start by assuming the share prices at these times. So let's say the share price at 10 o'clock is A. So this value is A, B, C, D, E and F. Okay. So A, B, C, D, E, F, I have assumed the value of share prices at these different timings. Now, first statement, it is given that Abdul lost the money in the transactions. So I wanted from all of you, Abdul bought at 10 and sold at 3 o'clock. So what will be the relation between A and F? What will be the relation between A and F? A greater than F or A less than F? It is given that Abdul lost money. So Abdul had a loss. So A less than F or A greater than F? I'll wait for a few seconds. Let's see if you can write the relation between A and F based on the first statement. So since Abdul lost the money, that means he must have sold at a lesser value as compared to the value at which he has bought. So A should be greater than F. Absolutely, Akhil. Good. So A will be greater than F according to the first statement. Lovely. Second statement, both Dane and Emily made profits. So both Dane and Emily made profits. That means the value at which they have bought should be less than the value at which they have sold. Let's talk about Dane. So Dane has bought at 10, 11 and 12. So buying value is A plus B plus C for Dane. So A plus B plus C should be less than D plus E plus F. So D plus E plus F. So this is for Dane. So Dane will make profit if the money at which he has bought is less than the money at which he has sold. Clear? This is from second statement, Dane. Now Emily also made the profit. That means A plus D, the prices at which Emily has bought. I'm writing it at the top of the screen. A plus D will be less than C plus F. C plus F. All right. This is for statement number 2 entirely. 1 and 2 are decoded. Third statement, there was an increase in share price during the closing hour of the day. So value at E is less than F. So E is less than F. This is from statement number 3. And statement number 4, share price at 12 noon was lower than the opening price. So at 12 noon, the value was lower than the opening price. So A is greater than C. A is greater than C. All right. So this is the entire relations that we are given. Okay. So all these relations are given. Now out of these, we have to find out 10, 11, 12 और 1 o'clock. That means A, B, C, D में से कौन सी value सबसे ज़्यादा है. Right. Now, let's start from here. A is greater than F. So let's combine these two statements. So this is simple inequalities. ठीक है, बहुत मजा आने वाला है अभी. So A is greater than F, ये बोला हुआ है. Now look at this statement. A plus D is less than C plus F. A plus D is less than C plus F. Okay. Now A F से बड़ा है. A F से बड़ा है. Okay. So what should be the relation between D and C? A is already given as greater than F. So what will be the relation between C and D? कौन सा बड़ा होगा, कौन छोटा होगा? A is greater than F. So for this side to be greater than the left hand side, obviously C has to be greater than D. Okay. So C will be greater than D. Am I clear? So C और D में C बड़ा होगा, D छोटा होगा. I have used these two. All right. Now, further, let's understand one more thing. Among this, A is greater than D. A बड़ा है D से. Okay. And C is greater than D. C is greater than D. Okay. Now, A is greater than F. A जो है F से बड़ा है और C D से बड़ा है. So right side बड़ा होने के लिए E has to be greater than B. Okay. So E has to be greater than B. Right? Okay. So this is what we have decoded from these statements. E is also greater than F. E is also greater than F. Right? E is greater than F. Now using this, you can do the comparison between all these values. So हमें highest find out करना है among A, B, C and D. So these are A, B, C and D. So among A, B, C and D, let's see which can be the highest. Now A is greater than F from here and एक second. A is also greater than C. A is greater than C. C is greater than D. So it cannot be C, it cannot be D. Right? Now E is greater than B, E is greater than F. Look at this. Now, among A and B, now we have to look at A and B. So, A and B में से कौन बड़ा होगा? B already छोटा है यहाँ पे. Alright. So, B, E और E से छोटा है. Right. So, B will also be less than A. Okay. So, I can say that among these, the share price at 10 o'clock, the value of A will be the highest. ओके श्वेता E and F कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है उसमें सॉरी E was less than F I'm sorry so E was less than F right so E still less than F है तो A से तो छोटा होगा ही होगा but E ऑप्शन में नहीं था that is why I have not considered that so value at 10 o'clock will be the highest as compared to the other values right okay. Now let's move ahead and look at the last question of this. Question number 5. So question number 5, the same set of information. Now you have to find out which of the following is necessarily false. Which of the following is necessarily false? The same set of information. Everything that you have seen on the previous slide is still available for this question. So you can use the information that you have deduced in question number 4. So let's quickly write all that information. Okay. Now Abdul lost all the money in the transaction. So A is greater than F. All right. So first statement done. Both Dan and Emily made profits. So this plus this plus this, that is A plus B plus C is less than D plus E plus F. Okay. For Emily, A plus D is less than C plus F. So that was statement number 2. There was an increase in share price during the last hour. So F is greater than E. F is greater than E. All right. This is the third statement. And fourth, At 12 o'clock, the price was lower as compared to the opening price. So A is greater than C. This is given. So all these statements are given, right? Now, based on all these, what we have deduced, so Varun says option E, more than one of the above. So Varun, tell me which of them is definitely false. So education word has already mentioned that. Okay. So deductions karte hain. A is greater than F. So C is greater than D. This is the first deduction that we have made. Okay. Then from here, A is greater than F. All right. And C is greater than D. So E will be greater than B. All right. E will be greater than B. So A is greater than F. F is greater than E. A is greater than C. C is greater than D. All right. So we have got this, right? Now, share price was at its lowest at 2 p.m. Was it lowest at 2 p.m.? Was this value? Wait. So at 2 p.m., A, B, C, D, E, F. Was this value the lowest? Was this value the lowest? Yes. Anyone? No. E is greater than B. We have this. So, which of the following is necessarily false? A definitely is false. Okay. Share price, second option. Share price was at its lowest at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. That is the value of B. Now, it can be possible because we don't have comparison for B. B is already lower. So, यहाँ पे B less है. So, it may be possible. Okay. It may be possible. I'll not look for B. Option C. Share price at 1 p.m. was higher than that of 2. So 1 p.m. D is greater than E. They are asking D is greater than E. So D और E में भी कोई comparison नहीं है, तो it may be possible. So option C will not be the answer. Option D. Share price at 1 p.m. was higher than at 12 noon. D was greater than C. D was greater than C. Now D and C में clear comparison है that C is greater than D. So this is also necessarily false. So A and D are necessarily false. So the correct answer should be more than one of the above. All right. So simple. Most of you have already given the answer. Answer is option E, that is more than one of the above. All right. Okay. So that was set number 1. I believe you have liked this set. This set came way back in 2008. Okay. So if you want to see this set once again, you can go back to CAT 2008 paper and you will have a look at it. Okay. आगे चलते हैं quickly. Set number 2. All right. Now set number 2 belongs to missing table. This is the total data about this set, and you will have to just convert these fractions or decimal values into the numbers. Okay. So these are the fraction of males and the fraction of vegetarians among the students of class 12th, 11th and secondary section. All right. So you just have to complete the table. I am leaving you with this blank information, incomplete information for some time. Yes, Varun, the previous set that we have done, a similar set based on the similar logic can appear in the upcoming examinations. So have a look at this entire data and convert these fractions into the numbers quickly. Just 1 minute to all of you. So the data is telling you about the proportion of male students and the proportion of vegetarian students in a school. Okay. Now I'm just telling you one information. There are only 2 genders, male and female, that you have to consider. And obviously vegetarian hoga ya fir non-vegetarian hoga. Okay. So male and female exhaustive, vegetarian and non-vegetarian, again exhaustive sets. All right. Now I'm taking you to a blank table and let's see if you have filled the values. Okay. Now school has a total of 800 students. So total number of students will be 800. So I'll write total here. Okay. Now 12th, 11th. So 12th के students यहाँ पे आ जाएंगे. 11th will come here and senior secondary will come here. Males, females, vegetarian and non-vegetarian. Okay. Now the school has a total of 800 students. So I can fill this value. This value will be 800. Okay, total number of students 800. 80% of whom are in secondary section and rest are divided equally in class 11 and 12. Okay. So 800, this is the total number of students, right? 80% of them are in senior secondary. So 80% of this value is 640 and rest are divided in 11th and 12th. Equally divide कर देते हैं. So remaining is 160. So 80 will go here and 80 will go here. All right. Now I'll be asking you about some of the values. So first of all of you must have done this. So give me the value of males 1, 2 and 3. These three numbers. So write first of all these three numbers, then number of females, number of vegetarians and then number of non-vegetarians. All of you. Okay, so quickly. Meanwhile, I'll start with this data slowly. So for class 12th, proportion of males is 0.6. That means 60% students will be males. 60% of this number, 60% of this number will be equal to 48. Okay? 60% of this number will be equal to 48. Absolutely good. The remaining students will be females. So 80 minus 48 is 32. All right. Fine. Let's talk about this number now. 55% of the students of class 11th will be males. Now 55% of 80. 50% is 40 and 5% is 4. So this number will be 44. Remaining will be females. 80 minus 44, that is 36. Right? Okay. Now I'll go to this percentage, 47.5 percentage. 47.5 percentage out of the total students are males. Now 800 ka 47.5%. So 800 ka 50% is 400. Okay. So 400 is 50%. From that I need to subtract 2.5%. Okay, 47.5% is 50% minus 2.5%. Okay, so 50% will be 400. 50% will be 400 minus 2.5%. So 2.5% के लिए इसका 10% कितना होगा? 80. 5% will be 40 and 2.5% will be 20. So 400 minus 20, that will be 380. So 380, this number will come here. Okay. And the remaining number of students will be females. So 420 will be females. Right. So I have filled these values. Now, if I look at total number of males, 12th, 11th and senior secondary, the sum here should be equal to 380. So now we can find out this number. So number of males in senior secondary will be 380 minus these two numbers. So this is 92. So 380 में से 92 minus कर देते हैं. Right? So 380 में से 92 minus किया. So this number will come out to be 80, 12, 288. Okay. Similarly, number of females you can find out, or you can say that 640 should be the sum of these two numbers. Simple. Okay. So this number, anyone, 352. Okay. So this number will be 352. All right, so that is correct. Now similar thing we can do for vegetarians and non-vegetarians. So vegetarians ka data de do. Give me all the three values for vegetarians. So vegetarians, Pragya has written all the values 32, 40 and 352. So let's see Pragya. So for class 11th, it is 50%, class 11th. So 50%, that is 40 vegetarians and 40 non-vegetarians. Done. Senior secondary 55%. So 640 ka 55%. So 640 ka 50% will be 320. 5% will be 32. So 320 plus 32 is 352. So this number will come out to be 352. Now subtractions karna easy ho jayega. I can pick the data from here. If this is 352, the other value is 288. So if this is 352, so this non-vegetarians will be 288. All right. Okay. Now total vegetarians is 53%. 53% of 800. So 50% is 400 and 3% is 24. So 424. So this value will be 424. 800 minus 424, 376. So to calculate number of vegetarians and non-vegetarians, now you can do subtraction from here. All right. So these values, anyone has given 32 is the number of vegetarians and 48 will be the number of non-vegetarians. All right. So this is the entire table. Now to fill this table, you will not take more than, I believe, you cannot take more than 2.5 to 3 minutes. Not more than that. Some of you may finish this table in less than 2 minutes, but 2.5 to 3 minutes is the upper limit to fill this data. Okay. Now based on this, we can answer the questions. So question number 1 for all of you. So this is the table, yes. So all of you can match this table and let's move on to question number 1. So you have the table. What is the percentage of male students in the secondary section? Percentage of male students in the secondary section. Yes. Any answer? All right. Option B. Fine. Percentage of male students in the secondary section. So males in secondary section. 288 is what percentage of 640? Right? Now 640 ka 50% is 320. This is 50%. All right. This is 50%. Now minus 32, that is 5%. Will give you 288, that is the required value. So 50% minus 5%, that means 45% should be the answer for this question. Okay, and yes, this is the correct answer. Varun, absolutely correct. Sachin, Kunal, Pragya, Shweta, Akhil, Education Word, all of you are correct. Those students who are live in this session not responding, please do respond. This is very important. So you can increase the speed of your calculations if you are responding very quickly in this live lecture. Question number 2. Question number 2. In class 12, 25% of the vegetarians are male. Now this is an interesting one. What is the difference between the number of female vegetarians and male non-vegetarians? Read the data carefully. Okay, let's look at it. Now they're talking about class 12. 25% of the vegetarians are male. So out of these vegetarians, 25% are male. Okay, so out of these 32, on the left hand side I'll write male and right hand side I'll write females. Okay? So in class 12, 25% of these vegetarians are males. So 32 ka 25%, 1/4 is 8. So 8 are vegetarian males. So remaining 24 will be vegetarian females. All right, fine. Now male, if I'll bifurcate this male into vegetarian and non-vegetarian, So male vegetarians, from here I can pick the value 8. So male non-vegetarians will be 40. Okay. So male non-vegetarians is 40. So out of these non-vegetarians, males will be 40 and 8 will be females. Okay. So females non-vegetarians is 8. So females vegetarian will be 32 minus 8, that is 24. Alright. So this is the data. For males, vegetarian, non-vegetarian. For females, vegetarian, non-vegetarian. For vegetarians, males and females, and so on. Okay. Now let's have a look at what do we need. What is the difference between the number of female vegetarians? So female vegetarians is 24. Female vegetarians 24. And male non-vegetarians. Male non-vegetarians is 40. What is the difference between these two numbers? The difference between these two numbers is 40 minus 24, that is 16. So the correct answer should be option D, that is 16. Alright, and yes, it is the correct answer. Okay, simple. A little patience is what required to solve these questions. Okay, so Varun, it will not be 24 minus 8, it will be 40 minus 24. These are the numbers. Okay, 40 and 24. Let's move on to question number 3. What is the percentage of vegetarian students in class 12? What is the percentage of vegetarian students in class 12? So simple question. Vegetarian students 32, number of students is 80. Okay, so you all can easily find 32 is what percentage of 80? So 32 is 40% of 80. Simple. Orally calculations ho sakti hain. So answer will be option A, that is 40%. Alright. Okay, let's move on to the final question of this set, and then we'll have one more set. Those students who have their lecture at 4 o'clock, you can leave this session at 4 and then finish it later, because this will go for another 10 minutes after 4 o'clock. Question number 4. In the secondary section, 50% of males are vegetarian. So they are talking about secondary section. 50% of males are vegetarian. Okay. So males 288 का 50% vegetarian है. So males vegetarian is 144. So non-vegetarian males will be 144. Alright, I'll keep on bifurcating the same way we have done in question number 2. Alright, now in the secondary section, 50% of the males are vegetarians. So remaining 50% will be non-vegetarians. Now male vegetarians is 144. So from here, I can say that among the total vegetarians, 144 will be males. So remaining will be females. So 352 minus 144, that is 208. So 208 will be female vegetarians. Clear? Okay. Now female vegetarians is 208. Alright. So from here, I can say that female vegetarians. Okay. So females में vegetarians will be 208. Okay. So non-vegetarians will be 352 minus 208. That will be 144. Simple calculations है ना, replicate हो रही हैं, repeat हो रही हैं. So female non-vegetarians पता लग गया. Now male non-vegetarians थे 144. So from here non-vegetarians में male is 144 out of 288. So females will be 144 once again. Simple. The way we have written the values in question number 2, the same way I have done it. So let's look at the options. Which of the following statements is correct? Option A, except vegetarian males, all other groups have same number of students except vegetarian males. So vegetarian males is 144, non-vegetarian No. If I look at this bifurcation, 144, 144, 208 and 144. So this is not correct. Option A is not correct. Option B, except non-vegetarian males, all other groups have same students except non-vegetarian males. Non-vegetarian males 144 except vegetarian males 144. So ये तो same numbers हैं. So I can say that different number कौन सा है यहाँ पे वो देख लेते हैं. Females vegetarian is a different number. So except vegetarian females, all the other groups have same number of students. That should be the answer. So the correct answer for this question should be option C. Okay. Otherwise, all the three groups have 144 students in it. So that is the correct answer. Option C is the correct one. So most of you again have given a correct answer. Good. Now, for the students who have lecture at 4 o'clock, I'm moving quickly to the next set. Now this set is a wonderful set that has appeared in one of the years of roots and networks. So question belonging to roots and networks, let's quickly have a read. So question says that, all of you, a significant amount of traffic flows through point S to point T, point S to point T in one-way street network shown below. Points A, B, C and D are junctions in the network. So starting point is S, final point is T, and A, B, C, D are junctions in the networks, and the arrow marks the direction of traffic flow. The fuel cost in rupees for traveling along the street is indicated by the number adjacent to the arrow representing the street. Okay, so these numbers will represent the fuel cost for that particular route. Okay. Okay, so education, what you are saying that today Srinivas sir at the workshop has done that. No problem, those students who were not there in that workshop, I'll take this question, I'll repeat this question for all of them. Okay, now this information, motorists travel from point S to T, so everyone will travel from point S to T, would obviously take the route for which the total cost of traveling is the least. जो भी minimum cost होगा, the motorist will take that particular route. Okay. Alright, so Jaydev, Varun, this is a very famous set. That is why we are taking this again and again. No worries, we can have a look at it. Now, if two or more routes have the same least travel cost, then the motorists are indifferent between them. So let's say, obviously the motorist will take the path which has the least cost. Okay. Now there are two or more least cost routes, then the motorist will be indifferent and the traffic will be divided equally. So let's say there are two routes which have the lowest minimum, the lowest cost. There are two routes which have the lowest equal cost. So traffic will be divided 50-50% and in these routes. Let's say there are three routes with minimum. Then the traffic will be divided 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 on these three routes and so on. Okay. Let's read further. Hence, the traffic gets evenly distributed among all the least cost routes. Fine, done. The government can control the flow of traffic only by levying appropriate toll at each junction. For example, if the motorist takes the route SAT, as you can see in the figure, using junction A alone, then the total cost of travel would be 9 plus 5, that is 14, which is the fuel cost, plus the toll at junction A. So this will be the total cost, 9 plus 5, 14, 14 plus the toll cost at A. So 14 plus A will be the cost of traveling from S to T via junction A. So this is just an example, right? So this is the entire information about this question, this set. Let's look at the questions one by one. Now, first question, if the government wants to ensure all the motorists traveling from S to T pay the same amount, regardless of the route they choose, and the street BC is under repairs, hence unusable, then the feasible set of toll charged at junction A, B, C, D respectively to achieve this goal will be. So first of all, let us do a proper analysis of this set, right? So I'll write all the routes that can be taken plus their cost. So first of all, SAT. So SAT, the cost will be 14 plus A. Then next route will be SBAT. So can you all quickly write the total number of routes that can be taken? Total number of routes. So SBAT is the next route. So the cost will be 2 plus 2 plus 5, that is 9, plus A plus B. All right. Next, straight route SBCT. Okay. SBCT, and the total cost will be 2 plus 3 plus 2, that is 7. 7 plus B plus C. All right. Next route can be SDCT. SDCT, and the cost would be 7 plus 1 plus 2, that is 10, plus C plus D. Okay, right? And the last one SDT, that is 13 plus D. Okay, so these are the 5 routes that can be taken in total. All right, and these are the total cost for each of the routes in terms of the toll taxes. Now, street BC is closed. Street BC is closed, so we don't have this route available. Okay, we don't have this route available, and we want to ensure the equal traffic to be flowing on these routes. Okay, so equal traffic means the toll will be equal, the total value of the total cost will be equal, including the fuel charges and the toll. So let's start with the equations. So I'll equate the first two. So first two को equate करने पे A cancel हो जाएगा, the value of B will come out to be 5. So B का value 5 आ जाएगा. So value for B is 5 in option A, B, C. In option D it is not 5. I'll eliminate this option. Fine, एक option eliminate हो गया. Similarly, if you'll equate the last two, D will get cancelled and the value of C will come out to be 3. C is 3 in all the remaining 3 options. I'll keep them, right? Now, let us equate first and the last. First and the last. So, first and last ko equate kiya, so you will get that the difference between D and A. So, D minus A is equal to 1. So D minus A equal to 1. Now, which option has D minus A equal to 1? Option A, the difference is 0. Option B, the difference is 2. So there is only one option in which the difference between first and last is 1. So I have eliminated the 3 options and the correct answer will be option C. Simple as that. All right, fine. Sejal is asking, why not SBCDT? SBC. Now, Sejal, you cannot come from C to D. The arrow, you will have to look at the arrow. So the arrow, the direction is also important. All right. Am I clear, Sejal? I'm sorry, I just saw your question. So SBCDT from C to D, it is not allowed. You can go only in one direction along these arrows. Right? So this is the first question. Let's move on to the second question quickly. Now, second question, if the government wants to ensure that all the routes from S to T get the same amount of traffic, then the feasible set of toll charges at the junctions. Okay, now there were 5 routes, right? Now government wants equal traffic along these 5 routes and this street can also be used. So whatever we have done for the previous question, that particular amount of work will also be there in this one. Okay, so for the previous one, we have determined B and C are 5 and 3. So again, they should be 5 and 3. All right. So B and C, 5 and 3 cancel. 5 and 3 cancel. 5 and 3, 5 and 3. I'll keep these options. Also in the previous, we have determined that D minus A should be equal to 1. So D minus A not equal to 1, cancel. D minus A equal to 1. I'll take this one. So the correct answer here will be option D. All right, fine. So I'll once again explain you this thing. In the previous case, street BC was not available. So I have equated the remaining 4. First, second, fourth and fifth. I have not considered this route. I did not consider this route. Okay. Now, for the next question, question number 2, they are saying that all the 5 routes should have equal amount of traffic. So now I can consider the third route as well. But obviously, including the third route, the cost of travel for all the 5 routes should be equal. So that means first, second, fourth and fifth routes का तो equal होना ही चाहिए. So you don't need to do anything, no need to do anything extra for this question. Just first of all look at whatever we have derived for the previous one, and based on that we have got the final answer. So nothing to do much for this. Let's move on to question number 3. Question number 3. If the government wants to ensure that the traffic at S gets evenly distributed along the streets SA, SB and SD. So now they are talking about streets in particular. This street and this street. Equal amount of traffic. Then a feasible set of toll at ABCD will be how much? So I'll quickly write all the routes. So the first route SAT. Meanwhile, you all can find the answer. Okay. Now we have to ensure equal traffic at these 3 streets. Okay. Now, which of these routes is using S to A? So SA is used by only one, that is this. Okay. SB is used by 2 of them, these 2. And SD is used by the last 2 routes. Okay. Now, since we have to ensure equal traffic along these 3 streets, okay, so if I divide the total traffic equally, right, let's say there is 100% of the traffic. If I divide it equally, 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, and 20%. So along the first street SA, only 20% has gone, but SB will have 40% and SD will also have 40%. All right. So to ensure equal amount of traffic along these 3 streets, what we have to do is, we have to consider this route, one of these 2 routes, second or third route में से कोई भी एक route consider करना पड़ेगा, and fourth and fifth route में से again कोई भी एक route consider करना पड़ेगा. All right. So if I want to minimize the cost, then the cost of the first route should be equal to cost of one of the second or third, second या third में से किसी भी एक को consider करना पड़ेगा, and that in turn should be equal to the cost of either fourth and fifth route. So this is the agenda of this question. All right. Now you can check among the options. So what you can do is you can check among the options, right? So if I will consider option A, all of you are saying option D is correct. Fine, it might be correct. But option A को consider करते हैं 0541. So 0. So if A is 0, then 14. A and B 0 and 5. So 14. Second route का cost 14 हो गया. Third route B plus C. That is 9 plus 7, 16. All right. And the fourth route, 13 plus D. Wait. Okay, fourth route, C plus D. That is 5, 15. And the last route, 13 plus D. That is 14. Okay. So I can say that using this one, using the first toll 14, 14 and 14, the cost of first, second and last is 14 and the cost of other 2 is 16 and 15. So can I say that the traffic can be equally divided along the route number 1, number 2 and number 5. This was our agenda and we have done that. Now most of you have given the answer as option D. Let me check what is happening with option D. Let's check it out. Now option D, if A is 1, so first route का cost 15 हो जाएगा. Second route, it will be 15 again. Third route का cost B plus C, 8 and 7, 15. This is the problem. So if we will take option D, then the third route, the cost will again be 15 and the cost of first 3 routes will be equal. So we'll not be able to ensure what we have done. Am I clear? Shresht, Kunal, Devika, Education Word, Shweta. All of you have given option D as the answer, I think, for this one. So answer will not be option D, answer will be option A for question number 3. Am I clear to each and every one of you? Yes or no? All right. So the correct answer should be option A. We have checked among the options and that is the answer. Let's move on to the last question. Question number 4. Now question number 4, government wants to devise a toll policy such that the total cost to the commuters per trip is minimized. Total cost should be minimum. Whatever happens, it should be minimum. The policy should also ensure that not more than 70% of the total traffic passes through B. So B से 70% से ज़्यादा pass नहीं होना चाहिए. The cost incurred by the commuters traveling from point S to T under this policy. So what is this minimum cost? Let's quickly write all of them. So first route 14 plus A. Second route 9 plus A plus B. Third route 7 plus B plus C. Fourth route 10 plus C plus D and fifth route 13 plus D. These are the 5 routes. Now they want 70% से ज़्यादा traffic junction B से pass नहीं होना चाहिए. Okay. So if I'll make all of them equal, let's say I'm just taking one scenario. If I'll take all of them equal, then through junction B only 40% of the traffic will pass, which is less than 70%, fine. But if I'll make all of them minimum, if I take all of them minimum, then the minimum cost has to be 14. अगर मैं A, B, C, D को 0 भी consider कर लेता हूँ, all tolls are 0, then the minimum cost can be 14. Toll cannot be negative. ठीक है? So एक scenario, hypothetical scenario, just to explain you this question I have taken. If I'll equalize the cost of all these routes, then 20% traffic will flow, and through junction B 40% traffic will flow, which is as per this condition. Okay, junction B say the policy should ensure that through junction B less than 70% traffic should flow. So अब minimize करना है, सबको equal करना पड़ेगा because 20 traffic flow करना है. So if I'll make them equal, then the minimum toll that a person has to pay, the minimum cost of travel for a person will be equal to 14. The higher of these constants, right? 14 to option में नहीं है. So we have to do something else here. So I've just given you the direction. Now let's see how this minimum toll can be achieved. Okay. Now what I can do is I can divide the entire traffic in a single part. That means 100% of the traffic may go from a junction, but 100% से तो कम रखना है. Okay. So what I'll do is, अगर सारा का सारा एक single junction से pass करवाना है, so I can also take the entire traffic through this junction, where the minimum cost will be 7. If I take A, B, C, D as all of them as 0, सबको 0 consider कर दिया. So minimum traffic will go from here, okay, but maximum traffic will go from here, all the traffic will go from here, and that will be 100%. But मुझे 100% नहीं चाहिए. So let's do something else. Now this is when the entire traffic will go from one route. Now I can divide the traffic in 2 equal parts. So that means 50 and 50 will go. Okay, so equal traffic, 50-50% जा सकता है. So I'll ensure that through junction B 50% will go and through some other junction the remaining 50% will go. Alright, ठीक है. So 50-50 में divide करने की कोशिश करते हैं. So one of these two will be taken, right? Exactly one of these two will be taken. So मैं क्या करता हूं, अब 7 तो minimum cost नहीं हो सकता, so I'll try for the next minimum cost, that is 9. Alright, so 7 minimum cost नहीं हो सकता, so I'll try for 9. क्या देखते हैं 9 हो सकता है या फिर नहीं. ना 9 minimum cost करने के लिए या तो A और B को 0-0 पुट करना पड़ेगा. So A, B, C, D, A and B if I'll put 0 and 0. So this cost will be 9. Right? Now minimize करना है. अब C को increase करना पड़ेगा. Right? C को increase करना पड़ेगा. This is 14. So traffic I don't want to flow from here. Right? I don't want to flow from here. Already यहाँ से flow करवाना है. So C को increase करना पड़ेगा. So C को मैं consider कर लेता हूँ 3. So if I'll consider C as 3. So C को minimum 3 consider करना पड़ेगा. This cost will be 13. Alright. This cost will be 13 and this cost will be more than 13. So only one route has the cost of 9. So 100% of the traffic will flow from there. So again, I cannot minimize the value as 9. Okay. So next minimum value, what I'll do is I'll try for 10. So 10 यहाँ पे है, 9 नहीं कर सकते. So 10 करने की कोशिश करते हैं. So if I'll try to minimize the value of the route as 10. So for that C and D को 0-0 put करना पड़ेगा. So the cost will be 10 and 13 here. Okay. Now here if C is 0 then I can put B as 3. If I'll put B as 3 this value will be 10. Okay. And A को अगर मैं 0 put कर देता हूं so this value will be 12 and this value will be 14. So now there are two minimum values 10 and the entire traffic will flow from these two. Okay. So that means from B 50% of the traffic is flowing which is less than 70% and now the cost has been minimized. Okay. So the minimum cost here will be equal to 10. Correct answer should be option C and let's see if this is the answer. Yes, this is the correct answer. Okay. So last question, fourth question of this set was slightly tougher as compared to the previous ones. So what you can do is you can also leave this question in case you think that you will spend a lot of time in this question. So the first three questions were definitely easy. All right. So that's all for this day. And I hope you liked whatever sets we have taken. And I also hope that you are at a right path of the preparation for CAT 2022. All right. Now with this note, I'll call it a day and some important piece of information for all of you. Now today, 6th of November is the last date for All India Open Mock CAT 2022. So in case you haven't taken this mock, please do it today only. Please register and take this examination. Today is the last day. Kunal, for the last question, obviously there is no shortcut. So you'll have to consider whatever things I was considering. Okay. So options say minimize karo 7, then 9 and then 10. So using the options, you can also minimize the cost. Okay. So this is one thing that you must do. Also the students who are preparing for CAT 2023 and looking for a wonderful program to start their preparation. So this is 123 for CAT 23 comprehensive program. We have already launched and the entire details are there on your screen. All right. Next is ACE, CAT and other MBA examinations with a wonderful mock series. So at like this moment, we are just 20 days away from CAT. So anyone who has exhausted whatever test series that they already have and they want another test series, some more mock papers for CAT as well as non-CAT examinations. So you can join this series where we are offering 20 mock CATs and 50 non-CAT mock papers. All right. This series comes with a lot of practice questions as well. More than 9,500, 1,000 plus topic test covering every single topic and a lot of things as well. So you can have a look at this test series. It will not only help you for CAT, but also for non-CAT examinations, right? Now further, most of you would know about this series, Last Lap to CAT, that we are running. So this is a series of 20 power pack sessions that we conduct at like almost every day at 7 o'clock. So you can come and join us live for this particular test series. All right. So that's all from my side, my dear friends. Thank you for being a part of this session. Have a nice day. Have a wonderful preparation. We'll see you once again on the day of CAT. Not like obviously before that, but on the day of CAT, all of you be ready for the first impression of each and every slot immediately after that particular slot on 27th of November. Thank you very much, all of you. Have a nice day. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.